Hey guys, my name is John and I am the media director here at Fredonia Hill. And man, thank you so much for taking some time to watch this video. I hope that it is useful for you and you feel like you understand what's going on by the time this video is over. I want to kind of talk to you about three things today. I want to talk to you about the vision of the media ministry at Fredonia Hill. I want to teach you how to set up and what does it look like to use the soundboard. And the last one is I want to teach you how to use ProPresenter. So this video is going to be very practical. It's going to be very hands-on learning, helping you understand what's going on. The first thing I want to tell you about though real quick is our vision. So the media team for the college ministry is so much more than just pushing buttons and making sure everything's working. It's actually helping create an environment where people are encouraged to interact with the Lord. Now, I know that might seem strange, but I believe we have a responsibility as anyone who steps into this booth. We have a responsibility to be servants. And so we want to be servant leaders. And the way that we can do that is that we can do the things behind the scenes so that people are in an environment where they are encouraged to worship the Lord. It's biblically based. We are to be servants of others. So if you come back here, we're not just doing stuff to do stuff. We're serving the Lord, helping the people that are within this room during Sunday school hour to interact with the Lord. So I'm going to teach you a couple basics. I'm going to teach you the soundboard, the lights, how to set up, and I'm also going to teach you ProPresenter. Man, I hope this video is really helpful. If at any time after watching this video you have some questions, just know that you can always text me, you can always email me, you can call me, and I'll help you if I can. So I'm going to do the first one real quick, and that is the setup. Okay, so this is setting up. Like I said, this can be pretty practical and hands-on, so you're going to see some photos, some videos pop up while I'm talking. This is just the basic way that this works. So the first thing that you're going to want to do whenever you come in to here is to make sure the soundboard's on. Most of the time the soundboard should be on. If you find that the soundboard's not on, let's start there. Over here on this little rack, you'll see a rack right here. There's a switch on the bottom right, and it says sequence on and off. You want to make sure that that's on. Okay, so I just flip that switch to on. And you also want to make sure that there's another switch on the far right. This one has a light on it and it says on and off. Sequence on, you make sure that's switch on that has the light. Okay, so at that point you'll notice that the soundboard just lit up. And as you can see on the soundboard, there's a lot of different channels that we have going on. Now, most of the time within Revive Sunday School, we're only going to use certain channels. You'll notice that we'll use the handheld on the far right, which is notated as handheld. You'll notice that we'll normally use a lead vocal and an acoustic or a keys channel. Depends on who's leading worship. Now another thing I want to show you is how you can mute and unmute these channels. So everyone knows about when Kendall gets a mic or the speaker gets a mic and it's not muted. Let me show you how to do that. So right here you see this red button. You're going to want to go ahead and unmute it by pressing it down. The red will go away. And now you'll see this level right here that allows you to control the volume. Notice to the right you can also see the main volume, but you will be able to see the volume as well. Also, you can do the same thing for the lead vocal channel, the acoustic channel, and or the keys channel. Here is a really useful tip. If someone is playing guitar, make sure that the channel is muted before they plug it in. That way when they plug in, it doesn't make a pop noise. And whenever they're done, make sure you unmute it so they can lead worship. Whenever they're done leading worship and going to unplug their guitar, mute it beforehand. It's really useful to make eye contact with the people. That helps the musician kind of just know what's going on. Next you'll see that up here we have aux 1 and aux 2. Now sometimes you'll notice that especially when the drums are on, that there's like a rattle going on. You can take that rattle away by turning down aux 1 and aux 2 all the way. Now this should be done for you, but when there's youth on Wednesdays, sometimes we'll come in here on a Sunday morning and the board is different than when we left it. That's just because the youth group's been in here on Wednesdays. So if that's the case and you're hearing a rattle, especially when the drums are back there, make sure you turn down aux 1 and aux 2. Okay, now we have over here is what we call our recorder. Now, a recorder is how we're recording the sermons for Kindle. And in order to turn it on, there's a switch. I'm actually going to show you this one right here. So there's a switch right here, and you press down, hold the side switch. It'll give you a little screen. It'll say welcome, and we're good to go. Now, once it gives you the welcome screen, and obviously you want to check the batteries up right, and you can take this off and change the batteries in here. This takes AA batteries. You will find some AA batteries next to the computer. So whenever you're doing this and it's time to record, you just make sure you hit this button right here in the center. It's called record. And now a red light will appear and you can start recording. You want to do this right as Kindle begins. Make sure you hit record. And right as he ends, make sure you hit the red button again. And what that does is that saves the file for us to be able to upload it to our podcast. This is a fun fact for you if you don't know. All of Kindle's lessons are available on our website underneath the Revive podcast, and also available on iTunes underneath Revive. The last thing I want to show you about setting up right now is the light board. Now the light board is pretty cool, it's really interesting. So I'll show you how to turn it on. I'll show you a picture here. There's a flip switch in the back. Make sure you turn that on. Now whenever you have that turned on, you can look, you can see that there's an opportunity where it says blackout. Unclick blackout and hit scene number 1. At that point, it'll give you a clear channel. Now, scene number 1 is going to be the one that you're going to want to always use. There are other options underneath the different numbers of the scenes that make the lights blue, green, red, turquoise. But the preferred one for Sunday morning is number 1. The last thing I want to show you, and I skipped on this for a second ago, but it's the mic. Now, whenever we're using the mic for Kindle, so this is the mic. This is Kindle's mic. So right here, I'm going to show you how to turn it on. So what I did was I just pressed that little button in until it became green. Now it is green. And when this is green and this is green, you can use it. Remember, you go back to the handheld channel, you unmute the handheld channel, and check 1, 2. All of a sudden, we're good to go. And this allows us to have control of the mic that we're using. I know this was a lot of information, so if you have any questions, be sure to refer back to your packet. And remember, I'm here to help, and if I'm not in the actual room to help, someone else has done this before, and they can help you. This makes sense. And this video is a little lengthy, but it's meant to be very practical. Feel free to go back over anything you have questions about. Okay, so now I'm going to give you one of the more technical parts about the job. What you're seeing right here is a screenshot of the current state of the Mac in the gateway. Now I want to kind of walk you through ProPresenter just so you can kind of know what's going on. The password for this computer is in your handbook, so you should be, or your packet I should say, so you should be able to find all the information that you need. Now the first thing you need to do is that on your toolbar down here, you can find ProPresenter. Now you want to go ahead and click ProPresenter. Now this will probably take a second. You'll see a box appear right here. And while that is loading, let me kind of just explain how this works. ProPresenter is the program that we use to display graphics, to display song lyrics, to display scripture on the screen. It's the main way that we can help our audience on a Sunday morning. So you see right now that ProPresenter 5 is pulling up. Now if you've never used ProPresenter before, trust me, it is very simple, and I want to kind of just help you and walk you through the basics of ProPresenter today. ProPresenter has a gold mine of information that I can throw at you, but my goal today is for you to understand the basics. Okay, so right here you're able to see the layout of how everything is going as far as ProPresenter goes. I want to just point out a few things to you. These are your active slides that are on the queue. These are the slides that if you just click them, they will appear somewhere. If I click, it will appear. You notice on the far left right here, this is what's going to show you what's going to be on the screen. Now, this is a background slide. Let's just go through real basics down here. This is the playlist. You'll notice that it says Revive right here. This is a Revive Sunday morning playlist. And these are the elements within the playlist. we have things such as a 2-minute video that we can watch. This is used during the 2-minute break. We have such thing as the announcement loops. Now notice each one of these slides is going to go to the next slide in 10 seconds. Now, and these slides can be changed as well. And I'll tell you how to do that in a little bit. Then we have songs right down here. Now these songs allow us to lead the congregation in worship. So let me show you exactly how this works. I'm going to clear everything. Over here is clear all. If you ever get into a pickle, you don't know what to do, just clear all. It'll be okay. The way this works is that you have a background, a motion, and then you have lyrics that you do. Now, you're like, I didn't see the mouse move. That's right, I use the keyboard. I can hit the right arrow or the left arrow. So allow me to hit the right arrow, I go to the right. Allow me to hit the left arrow, I go back to the left. I can also do the same thing by clicking. If I click, I'm able to go, and then so on and so forth. There's a little bit of delay on it, but we can click, and we go to the next one, click, and next one. And now look, you'll want to move these lyrics as the person leads the song. So the song right now is What a Beautiful Name Is. And the good idea is to change the slide the second to last syllable. So what a beautiful name it is. Nothing compares to. You would change it right on to go to the next slide. So you're going to be leading slides during the time of worship for Revive. During his sermon time, you will have text to go through. So what we do is we put a background slide up. Now this background slide will stay up until another background slide is cued. And I want to show you the difference. All of these verses that you see right here, all of these boxes that have verses, they are not background slides. They are text slides. So let me show you how this works. If you have a background slide and you go to a text slide, the text stays up and the background stays up. And if you go to the next text slide, the text changes, but the background does not change. Backgrounds do not change unless you A, clear all, or B, select another background. And once again, you will have these verses. Now as Kendall goes throughout his sermon, you're going to have an opportunity to flip through different passages. So this particular one, he's talking about Jonah, and he's also talking about the Apostle Peter. So he had a fair amount of verses. So if he's in Jonah 3, and all of a sudden he decides that he needs to go to Acts 10, you can go right down here to Acts 10, and you can skip Jonah and just click down to Acts 10. Now maybe your eyes are a little hard to see, and you can make anything bigger by going right here and making it large. Now, these slides are ginormous. Honestly, they're a little much for me, so I try to honestly go back to about right here. This is a video image bin. This allows us to store JPEGs, PNG files, videos. In other words, it allows us to store graphics and it allows us to store videos. So everything you need will be in the Revive folder. See, we have different folders. We have our Motions folder, which is like our backgrounds while we're singing songs. We have our Revive folder, which is different graphics that we have. Right here we have a volleyball night, a paintball night. Up here we have a Welcome Week. And you guys all remember Welcome Week. Game study night, send off. So our team works on these graphics, and they make some killer graphics, and we want to be able to show those graphics to get people excited about the events that we have. The way we do that, and notice I'm just clicking on this and rolling it, just like a normal Safari web browser, is through our announcements. Whichever one you click, it'll show up. Now look, do y'all see that? I had text and I had a background up, but I selected another background, and that allowed me to do this. But say I wanted to promote the men's paintball one. I could come down here, I could click men's paintball, and I could drag it in between. I could place it there. Now, if I want to support men's paintball, I can go right here. So most of the time, the announcements will already be set up for you. You won't have to worry about it. But if there's something that says you need to add it, this is kind of like a level 2 of ProPresenter, I guess you could say. It's all right here. So a great one is summer groups. Right now it's in the summer. You might be watching this video and it's February, but right now it's in the summer. And so we have summer groups. So we want to be talking about the groups that we have that meet on Monday nights. and pool party afterwards. Yeah, awesome. So this is the basics of how we're able to use anything. So just a reminder, background slide, hit the right arrow, this takes you to the next one. These are text slides, these are background slides. This is your playlist. You want to go through things in here. And if you have a video like this, you just hit the play button, and look, it's going to play the video. Sometimes videos will have music, and you'll want to unmute the channel on the soundboard called iMac. Now I'm going to throw up another picture of the soundboard, and you see right there in the middle how it says iMac. Those are the ones you're going to unmute, similar to the way you did the mic, similar to the way you did everything else. So that is the basics of ProPresenter. ProPresenter allows us to do a lot more than even this, and this is just ProPresenter 101. If you're interested in knowing more about ProPresenter, ask someone who's done it before you, or just come talk to me and I can teach you more in depth about ProPresenter. But thank you so much for tuning in for the ProPresenter section of this talk. So that was ProPresenter, and I really hope that this video has been easy for you to understand. Media stuff can be a little confusing, but hey, refer to that little packet. There's an attachment, the same place you found this video. And there's an attachment for you just to look at, and it gives you some step-by-steps and some of the basics. So hopefully you understand what to do if you're the first one here and you need to set up. Hopefully you understand how to run ProPresenter, you understand how to use the mic, how to set the lights up, and you kind of understand the vision behind it. This is more than just pushing buttons. This is learning to help serve others. And I want to emphasize that word learning real quick. There's going to be a learning curve with this. You're going to feel like you possibly don't really know what you're doing. Hey, that's okay. Day one of the job is always hard. I hope you have a general understanding of the media team for the college ministry. And if you have any questions, remember to contact me or to contact Melina. We'd love to help you. Thank you guys so much.